Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. So today, my face is more broken out than it's been in I don't even know how long. And today we're going to talk about how I cover my blemishes. I get terribly hormonal acne and this is the worst it's been in forever, probably because of stress and like being super depressed and stuff too, on top of everything else. So this is what my skin looks like. I have this one's huge, like it raises so much, and then I have so many blemishes all over my face and it's super embarrassing. But today I'm going to try to cover these up for you. I'm going to show you how I do that. And without any further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so everything I use in today's video will be cruelty free as always. First things first, I gave my hair on my face. Also, one tip, if your face is breaking out, keep your hair clean. Obviously, I did not do that, but one thing about that is though, you have dirty hair, you're sleeping on your pillowcase, you're rolling around in the middle of the night, and that dirt from your hair and oils from your hair is going to get all over your face and make your breakouts worse. But of course I was too lazy to wash my hair, and this is the result. It was not this bad yesterday. But today we're going to go ahead and just start. I'm going to start off with a really cooling and sensitive skin friendly primer. This is the Hyaluronic Primer by First Aid Beauty. It's my favorite primer. Anytime I have any like weirdness going on with my skin, this is what I use. Because good for acne prone skin. My skin's typically not bad. Like I typically don't have much acne. I might have like one spot. Until today. But this is like one of those cooling sensations. I try not to use a pore minimizing primer when my face is broken out, just because I feel like it clogs the pores. And I want my pores be like flushed out. But obviously putting on makeup is not going to help that, but I just try not to put too much on me until we get to the actual covering, and then we're like, oh my god, Bridget, there's no way your skin can breathe through that. And then all I have to say is, well then it shouldn't have broken out. Okay, I might be getting sick. That's not good either. So I'm going to use a really light foundation. You might think I'm going to use the most full coverage thing in the world to cover this up, but I'm really going to rely on my concealer to cover this up. So I'm going to use a really like lightweight foundation so the rest of my face does not break out that bad. I'm using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define in the shade F1 today. This is like a light medium. I usually say medium coverage with this one, but I'm not going to use a ton of product because I want the rest of my skin to kind of breathe a little bit if it can. Since I'm caking on so much product on my actual blemishes later, I'm going to kind of keep this rest of my skin a little bit bare so it looks a little less natural, or looks a little more natural and a little less cakey. Alright, so as you can see, this foundation is a really good coverage, but it's very lightweight and I can still see my skin through it, like my freckles and stuff, I can still see through it, so it's not very cakey, it's not very heavy. What I'm going to do now is going to color correct. So I have this brush where I did like, I primed my lid with it, so it has a little bit of concealer on it. So I'm just going to use this one. I'm going to take the Just My Look palette by ColourPop. And I'm going to dip into this little lightest shade right here, which is a green. I'm going to type a little bit of this one too, because this is a little bit of a gray green. So I'm going to take this one, mix a little bit of this one. I'm going to tap off any excess on the brush. And I'm going to touch directly on any blemish that I think needs color correction. Like these down here, I'm gonna leave. The ones on my neck and everything, my neck's really broken out. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm gonna leave. But mostly I wanted to get rid of this one, and the one right here, and then this one on the other side of my face. I also have one in my brow, but I just drew over it, so it was not a big deal. Now we can clearly see I have 3 green parts on my face. What I'm gonna do now is take the ColourPop Yes Please palette. I'm going to color correct some of the purple out underneath my eyes. I'm going to take a little bit of this orange right here on my pinky finger. And I'm just going to swipe right there. Just going to cancel out a little bit of that purple. Obviously this isn't part of canceling out acne, but I usually color correct this anyways when I'm having like a rough looking day, like today. So I did that. Now let's move on to concealer. So I'm going to take the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair Beige. And I'm going to start under the under eyes, my forehead, and now I'm going to go on my nose and cover up the blemishes. So I'm going to go around, I'm going to blot it on top, not swiping on, just tapping it on the blemish. Some people could swipe over it, I don't like that. I want to put it directly on top of that green and not wear the green away or spread it anywhere else on the face. Alright, so I'm going to blend my under eyes out and the chin. So I'm just tapping to blend it out. Again, not rubbing it. And my chin's pretty well covered. I am going to set the powder on these blemishes with a sponge as well. Just to pack on the powder so we know the green isn't going to come through. Like the foundation and the concealer and stuff is not going to wear away. And by blending out this concealer, I can still see the green coming through. So I'm going to do another layer after I blend out my under eyes of the concealer before I set it. Now taking my Cover FX setting powder, I'm going to set my under eyes with a sponge. And I'm also going to set our 3 little blemishes that we covered. And I'll use the brush for the rest of the face. But I don't want my under eyes to crease, and I want them to set really well, so I always set my under eyes with a sponge, and then if I have any really bad blemishes, I will pack the powder on them, pack it really in there, so that we don't see any of the color correction coming through, we don't see the foundation or concealer breaking up on it, it just makes it kind of lock in there, which we really need, because we do not want this coming through in like 2 or 3 hours. Especially if there are parts of your face that you get really oily. Alright, so everything is covered and I think I did a pretty decent job covering it if you're just looking at me from distance. You're not going to be like, oh, what happened to her face? So I'm going to go contour, blush, and highlight now. If typically I have any blemishes or really bad spots like where I would contour, I just pull it in a little further, a little bit higher. Anything with the highlight zone, sometimes I get a pimple like right here. Or like a little bump on my face. I kind of just do it anyways. I highlight anyways, like get over its texture or whatever. And then blush. I try to keep the redness from the blush away from any spots. So I'll kind of keep it more in towards the contour if I have any issues like that. And I'm going to go finish up my face and be right back. Alright guys, so this is my finished face when it's all covered up and hidden. And overall, I think it looks pretty decent. I think it looks way better than it did. I feel like my hair is still an absolute train wreck today. Like, oh my god. I'm just going to blame the rain every day here in Florida on my hair looking like crap, even though I just have been so lazy to wash it. But I think overall, oh god, let's get up close. You can still see where they are, but you're not focusing on it. I feel like you're not focusing on the really red, terrible blemishes I have on my face. Also, if they're not completely hidden, they're still kind of noticeable. Who cares? It's just skin. It's not that big of a deal. I personally have a huge, like, issue seeing my blemishes, but I fully accept anyone who wants to just rock them and not bother all this effort covering them up. Like, who cares? It's just on your skin. Like, it happens. It's natural. I'm just hella insecure. Like, if I was going on a date, I wanted to cover it up. Like, I have to be covered up. If I was going to work, I just have to cover it up. I can't do anything about it. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope this helped you in any way. If you have any other tips for covering up acne or blemishes or scars or whatever, I would love to hear it down below. Also, yes, scars, because I have this terrible little scar on my forehead I cover up every day. I don't know how to get rid of it. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye.